Before going to watch Godzilla x Kong The New Empire, I highly recommend setting some expectations first. Do not expect any compelling or emotional human stories. Then do not expect consequences of two giant monsters destroying and killing thousands of lives, which could end up giving some really compelling conflict, but you're not going to get any of that. Do not expect any sort of complexity in this film. It's just a straightforward story, and that should be a pretty given thing here. What you can expect is dumb fun action sequences and also some really funny dialogue. Those are some of the things you should take note of before going to watch this movie. Welcome back, Visionaries, to my latest video. This is my review of Godzilla x Kong The New Empire. Here's a quick plot synopsis, although I don't think you would need it because I think you would have really guessed out what the plot of this movie is even without watching the movie. It's a given, honestly. Scar King, who is in this uncharted realm of Hollow Earth, wants to take over the world above. So now Godzilla and Kong have to team up to take him down. I think you probably guessed that even before me saying it. Let's start with the good. The awesome kaiju battles. This is probably the best part of the film. Kong definitely stands out in this movie. It's pretty much a King Kong movie here. Godzilla is kind of not there for the most part. They got quite creative with the use of action here. It put a grin on my face, sometimes even made me laugh. There was this scene where Kong took this baby ape and used it as a pet to beat the shit out of the other apes. That was so funny, it had me cracking up. And there were sequences towards the end where Godzilla and Kong fought with Scar King and they formed this ragtag kind of team and then just threw Scar King towards each other, beating him up, and that was just so funny also. Now let's talk about one of the main topic explored in this movie, loneliness, not belonging to a certain place. I believe this topic was explored in Godzilla vs Kong, but in this movie it's explored even further. Although I wouldn't say it's up to a necessary extent for us to care about them, but still, I appreciate the effort put into it. In Godzilla vs Kong, Kong was lonely and that's about it. Here, both Jia and Kong are lonely as they are the last survivors of their kind, the only survivors of their kind. The film also parallels both their storylines a couple of times, and that really made it engaging and really strengthened the relationship between Kong and Jia even more. Then of course we have to talk about the lore and the world building. This film definitely expanded upon the mythology of the Monsterverse. I didn't watch the Monarch show, so I can't say how much world building went into that, but here the world building, which I really appreciate, is mostly exposition dump. This part I don't appreciate. Every information is mostly blurted out to us. Then we have to talk about the human characters. Look, I still don't care about the bulk of the human characters in this movie, but it is definitely an improvement compared to the writing of human characters in the previous 3 entries in this franchise. Jia is a character you would want to root for, especially her relationship with Rebecca Hall's character. This is a big improvement for the Monsterverse movies. Dan Stevens' character's name, whom I forgot, and Bernie are funny and engaging to a certain extent, but there's no emotional attachment for them. But it's fine, they're engaging. Also, thank you for not bringing back Millie Bobby Brown into this. She literally did nothing in Godzilla vs Kong to move the plot forward other than the fact that she was there. There was a sequence in this movie between Kong and Scar King and the other apes which had no dialogue, and I appreciate that a lot. It was really interesting to see that. Then there was a really great surprise. I'm not going to say what exactly that surprise is, but it was a really great surprise for me. Then let's get to the drawbacks. There wasn't much emotions in this film. I mean, that's a given. This is meant to be a dumb fun action film. Everything else does not matter. The dialogue is silly. The characters, especially Bernie and Dan Stevens' character, whose name I forgot, are very silly. This is a movie that does not take itself seriously one bit. And hey, I recommend you guys going into this movie just knowing what to expect, and you'll have a lot of fun. Humans are fillers for the most part in this movie. They are just there to say what's happening. You can actually make this movie without many of the humans in this movie. Overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. It's a dumb, fun, entertaining movie which will delight you if you go in with the right expectations. If you like this video, click the like button. If you want to see more, subscribe to my channel, and see you guys next time. Guys, always the best.